Okay, welcome to the Two Bros Research Clinic. Today we're going to go over what we call the red pill experience. And this is something we show with all new patients. Things that are invisible toxins to the body that are affecting your overall health and ability to recover and rejuvenate, things like that. So what we're going to do is start with making sure we've got a strong indicator muscle. Hold your arm strong, please. In the clear. If we don't have strong muscle in the clear, everything is going to test weak, and we're not going to have any real good feedback. Hold your leg out to the side. Okay, good and strong. Push out. No, that one's testing weak. Okay. But overall, hold strong. Now hold again. Okay, relax. Now I'm going to take this wireless mouse, Bluetooth, and I'm just going to run it through her biofield. Not even going to touch her with it. Now bring your arm back up and hold strong and see how she can't hold like she was able to before. I use my little finger. Looks like I'm pushing harder, but I'm really not. Hold this leg out, push out. Okay, push out. Now, she's in a weakened state. Now, we have to make her strong again so that she's testable. Most people, when you put them on the table, are weak. Every skeletal muscle, they're globally weak because of, they might have had a phone in their pocket, Bluetooth in their car, Wi-Fi where they live and work, and they just came out of that toxic environment and everything is weak, so we have to make them strong again. So what we're going to do is, using the sound table, we're going to put a frequency. I'm going to use 528 hertz, which is going to affect the mitochondria in her body, the power plants in all the cells, to make her muscles facilitated or be able to be strong. So now, hold your arm back up again, hold strong, and she's back to strong like bear. Okay, legs, push out, okay. So it affects everything. We can check the head, lift your head please, hold strong. That's a little weak, but you can check all kinds of muscles, but we just want to show the overall global strength and weakness of the body. So we could just use one arm from now on to make it simpler. Okay, so if I turn this off and I test her again, hold strong, she's still strong. And she will remain that way until she encounters some noxious influence that downregulates the mitochondria and makes her weak again. Every physiologic function in the body is dependent on mitochondria. You got to have the mitochondrial function for all functions: digestion, elimination, for breathing, for respiring, for blinking your eyes. Every function of the body is dependent on mitochondrial function. And you can still do those with weaker mitochondria, but as far as healing and recovering, things like that, it's really difficult. So we're going to show you, again, I'm going to make her weak again. This is like tripping a breaker, parasympathetic nervous system breaker. Now she's back to a weak state. Now I'm going to do it another way. Lift your feet please. We've got this grounding mat that I'm going to put under her feet. You have to actually touch this with the skin, and this is connected into the receptacle, into the ground socket on the receptacle. We've got two vertical slots and a little round hole underneath it. The little hole is the ground. That's connected to a ground rod under the meter outside the breaker panel. So it flows electrons from the earth into the mat, into the body, and we're going to retest, hold strong, and she's strong. That's all we did, was ground her. So we get electrons from the earth, and electrons charge our batteries in our body. Every cell is like a little battery, and it has electrolytes to hold a charge, but you have to give it a charge. It's like if you charge your device, your phone or whatever at night, you plug it in and you give those batteries a charge, and then it works a lot better the rest of the day. Same with the body. So we used to always be in touch with the earth. We slept on the ground. We were always in touch with the earth for thousands of years. And now we wear insulators on our feet called shoes. Our beds are elevated off the ground. Our houses are electrically insulated from the earth. So we're literally out of touch with the earth. So this is a hack. We're bringing the earth indoors to simulate being outdoors. Okay, so she's nice and strong now using this. Okay, I'm going to unplug this, and then she's still going to be strong until she uses her phone or something like that. And she's a little weak. Strong. Okay. Now, another way we're going to bring her mitochondria back up to normal functioning is with near infrared light. So put this here, turn this on. Now the near infrared light, it directly affects the mitochondria. And mitochondria have, are called cytochromes, these protein complexes, and they have red light chromophores. They need the near infrared light. The sun is 42% infrared. And we spend 97% of our time indoors on average now. So we're not outside getting those frequencies from the sun to charge and activate our mitochondria. So with the red light, hold strong, she's even stronger than she was. So it's that quick, right? Now if I turn this light off, she'll still be strong until we expose her to some noxious frequency. Now, I'm going to weaken her again. This, notice you didn't even touch her body with it, just coming into her biofield. Strong, elbow straight, little finger, she's strong again. Now, we're going to use another way to strengthen her body using hydrogen and oxygen gas made from water. When you turn water as a liquid into a gas, you get 2/3 hydrogen and 1/3 oxygen, right? H2O. So that's what we're doing with this machine. And then we put the nasal cannula on, and you breathe that into the body. The hydrogen in this form carries an electron, which makes it an antioxidant, which neutralizes the charge or lack of electrons on molecules called free radicals, which are harmful to the body. So the hydrogen carrying this electron donates an electron, neutralizes the harmful charge on the free radicals, and then itself becomes neutral. So hydrogen is the smallest element on the periodic table, and it goes everywhere in the body quickly. So we're just going to do, okay, hold strong. If you still want a weakened state, we do one breath, just nice deep breath. And hold your arm up, and hold strong, strong on bear again. So it doesn't take long to make these changes, but breakers don't reset themselves. You have to do something to reset that breaker. And most people are living in environments where they are exposed to these harmful influences 24/7. You've got Wi-Fi router, Bluetooth devices, maybe a wireless alarm system, game system, all this stuff in their house that's affecting them. Might have a smart meter, live near a cell tower. There's all kinds of these influences. So we have to learn about them, learn to avoid them and mitigate their effects on our bodies. So It's just showing you how this invisible force can weaken the body and keep you from recovering and getting healthy. So imagine being in a hospital where you've got telemetry and Wi-Fi and all the machines with all their electromagnetic fields. And we haven't talked about the lighting yet, but all these things are working against you recovering, right? Not to mention the drugs, the surgeries, the radiation, all that stuff. So it's really important that the environment that you're in, you can't get healthy in the same environment that made you sick. So we have to address the environment before we can really make progress. So our homes should be like a safe haven from all this stuff. These influences are in restaurants and stores, at church, they're at work, at school, they're everywhere, in your car, right? And people are carrying microwave transmitters turned on in their body, next, their pockets and stuff. Some in their bras, and it's really harmful to the body. So this allows you to visualize the direct effects on the body from these devices. So there are things that people have, like these cordless phones. These are probably the worst. These have the strongest field. You have the handset and the base that charges it. Now, the base is putting out 2.45 gigahertz, same frequency as a microwave oven, 24/7, whether you're using the handset or not. If you do use the handset, now you've got two sources of microwaves bombarding your body. Some people have one of these in every room of their house. Mostly elderly people that had these back in the day. These are so strong, that's why you can walk down the street, talk on your cordless phone, because the signal from this is so strong. So these are really a problem, and I'll demonstrate that to you. Wi-Fi routers. This is a wireless router. We all know what they are. On the back, we have the Ethernet jacks. We used to use Ethernet cables. Remember, you plug directly into your computer? Well, we went back to those because they don't emit these harmful microwaves. And the cables now, the signals are faster than wireless and much more secure, and we can really hack into you like we can with the wireless. But again, these things are putting out 2.45 or 5 gigahertz constantly, 24/7. Whether you're using your phone or your any device at all, they're still pumping this into your environment. So the least that you can do is unplug it at night when you're sleeping. If we spend a third of our life in bed, and if just that third of the time is in a clean environment without these kind of influences, and then put your smartphone on airplane mode, that turns off the microwave transmission. We should always do that because you can still use your apps, your camera, and all those things when it's in airplane mode, but it's not slamming you with microwaves. Now, people don't realize your phone is always transmitting because it's talking to a tower. It's trying to get the best signal. So if it's in your pocket or in your bra or even next to you, it's transmitting microwaves, which are harmful to the body. So if you turn it off, and then every so often, if you're not on 24-hour call or there's emergency situation, you don't really need to have that phone on all the time. And we know because we lived for a long time without these things, and we got along just fine. So every so often, check your messages, and then do a text, make a call, put it back in airplane mode when you're done. Then you can safely carry it. There's also devices that will affect the torsion field that these devices created. They create a left-hand torsion field, and the body wants a right-hand torsion field. So if you put something in that field called shungite, that will change that left-hand torsion field to a right-hand torsion field, and it'll eliminate the weakening effect. It'll negate the weakness caused by the microwaves. So that's really helpful. But there's still a field that's affecting every cell membrane in your body, affecting the ion channels in that affect calcium and magnesium levels, sodium, potassium levels. And so you want to ideally not be exposed to this stuff at all, especially the torsion fields, which weaken your mitochondria. So knowing that, you can take steps to protect yourself from these devices that were put out there with no testing for health. And some of the things they did do, they used like a plastic head, supposed to simulate a human head, and then they put a phone near it. And what they've proven to that is that microwaves can be harmful to plastic. They haven't really done adequate testing on humans. But there's lots of data out there. You can go on our website and read about it. And you need to know about this because it's affecting you, your any pets you have, even your plants in your house are all affected by these fields. So it's important that you understand that. Okay, I'm going to show you a meter, a couple meters, which you can use to detect these fields. This is a high gain antenna. It's directional. You can point it at devices and it'll show you with a readout and audibly the fields. Here we have a cell phone and a meter, and you can hear the meter squawking. It's picking up on the field being put out by this. Right? So this is always, I'm not talking on it or anything, it's just talking to a tower, trying to get the best signal. Now if I put it in airplane mode, see how it shut off? No microwaves. So you can safely carry it in this mode, but when you take it off of airplane mode, then immediately it starts emitting microwaves. Okay? Okay, now we've got a cordless phone, and you can hear anything. There's no numbers accumulating on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in, and you're going to hear this is what the body hears, right? Hold your arm, hold strong. Even though we're in a healthy environment, it still makes it weak, right? You don't hear anything, you don't see, taste, touch, smell, anything, right? But it's pulling the rug out from underneath your metabolism. So, these are bad news. All right, I have a Wi-Fi router, and it's strong. It says he's strong without any microwaves being transmitted. I'm going to plug this in. Now this has to boot up. It takes maybe a minute or less to boot up. But plugged in and she's still strong. Now, when that clicks on, we will hear like a woodpecker sound. And that's what these things, they pulse. And if you could actually hear it, it's so obnoxious you would destroy it. Just like that cordless phone. So these are everywhere. In schools, church, store, most houses. Okay. This is the Wi-Fi router. Hold strong, little finger. Now, totally makes you weak. So these are bad news. You don't really want these anywhere near you if you can avoid it. Now, telling this to your teenage child that lives on their phone, that's another story, but you can show them how it affects them. And that's really powerful because when people experience that, it makes sense to them. Here's another meter. This is a tri-field meter. This is for detecting like power lines, 60 cycle, 50 cycle fields from things. And you can turn this on and you can measure fields where you work, where you sleep, where you spend a lot of time, and make sure it's a clean environment before you spend time there. But this will help you find these hidden fields. We do audits on people's houses and workplaces to find all these hidden fields for them, with our meters. So you can do the same thing. All right, now we're going to talk about artificial lighting. We spend 97% of our time on average in the United States indoors under artificial lighting, especially LED lighting, fluorescent, halogen. And these contain frequencies, color temperatures of light that are harmful to the body when they're by themselves. Especially the blue color coming from LEDs, fluorescents, halogens, things like that. And there's blue light in sunlight, but it's balanced by red. 42% of sunlight is infrared. So that balances the effects of the blue light. But scientists made LED bulbs to match the color temperature of the sun at high noon. So the sun changes color temperature from sunrise to sunset. Sunrise at 1600 degrees Kelvin. At high noon it's 5750 degrees Kelvin. At sunset it's 16,000 degrees Kelvin. It's constantly changing color temperature through the day. And we have a device in our brain that monitors the color of light coming into our eyes. It's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, and that tells our body what time it is. Basically, the sun is a clock for our bodies based on the color of the light that we're getting. Now, these devices that we're talking about, LED bulbs primarily, and then the ones in your phones and in your LED TVs and laptops and tablets and all that, are made the same color temperature as the sun at high noon, 5700 degrees Kelvin, which is harmful to the body. So at noon it's not harmful, but at night, especially after sunset, before bed, if you're watching LED TV, looking at your device, whatever, you're telling your brain that it's high noon because of the color of the light that's being emitted that you're experiencing. So as that comes into the body, it shifts our circadian biology to that of midday. So at midday, when the sun is overhead, cortisol levels are high, which raise blood sugar, which feeds the brain. The brain basically runs on blood sugar. So we can't go to sleep. Our brains are awake, right? And what do you mean go to sleep? It's midday, right? So if you just are looking at your device, watching TV, something like that, you're not going to be able to sleep. It takes 4 hours of darkness, total darkness, before the pineal gland secretes melatonin to get you into a real healing, deep REM sleep. Right? That's what you want. And you can't get there when you've got these fields and this artificial light affecting you. It's shifting your biology and turning everything upside down. So you're not going to get a good restful sleep. You're going to wake up kind of tired and be that way all day long. So it's important that we sleep in a totally dark environment, and then we have to do, we call it sleep foreplay. You have to set the stage for sleep. You have to turn the lighting down, maybe put some music on, turn the TV off, and don't watch any exciting action movies or anything right before bed. But then your body's ready to sleep. Now, what if you wake up in the middle of the night and you got to pee or something, and you go and you turn on the LED light in the bathroom, or you look at your device while you're up? Boom, you're right back to midday with your biology, right? Because of the color of that light. So it's really important that we understand this, and we maybe have some red night lights, or don't look at your phone at night, or get a blue filter for your phone, for your computer. It's an app that takes the blue light out of the color after sunset. And those are really handy to have, and they're free. So you can go online and download a blue light filter. Now the newer operating systems in your phone, you can just go in and click on the night setting, and then at sunset it'll take the blue out of the color of the light. So all those things are helpful. And then using shungite or other devices that change the frequency, the torsion field to a right-hand torsion field, change the lighting. See, with the phone you're getting the microwaves and the artificial light. You're getting a double whammy. So you have to handle both of these. It's really important. So I'm going to show you, hold strong. Okay, she's nice and strong. Got it grounded. I'm going to turn on this bulb right here. Okay, hold strong. And she goes weak again. Hold strong, little finger. Right? This is an LED bulb. Now, there's a hack. These are blue blocking glasses. Okay. Hold strong. And it makes her strong. Blocks the weakening effect. Now if I take these off, hold strong. She's back to weak. Hold strong. Okay, now, that's just the eyes. But our skin has more photoreceptors than our eyes do. So we have melanopsin receptors in our skin that are sensitive to blue light. And I'm going to demonstrate this, even though she got the, can I expose your belly? Okay. Hold your arm, hold strong, and she goes weak. Back up, strong. And you might say, well, her arms and her face are exposed, but they are normally, and she's got more melanin in those parts of her body, so it doesn't affect her like the belly. When you expose that, it's not normally exposed, so you go weak. So you got to address the eyes and the skin. So the blue light affects not only your eyes, but your whole body, the skin, and you got to handle it. You got to protect yourself from that. Now, I mentioned you get the blue filters. That's very important. Now you can add red light to a blue lit environment. I'll take these off. And that will negate the weakening effect as well. So hold strong. That's the LED doing that. I'm going to turn on the red, add the red. Hold strong. And she gets strong. So the red light negates the weakening effect of the blue light. So you can always add a red light to an environment. Say you're at work, you don't have control over the lighting, right? You can add a red light on you, and that'll negate the weakening effect of that, of the fluorescent lightings or whatever is weakening you, right? So you can have a ground pad under your feet at your desk or wherever, if you're not all over the place, if you're in one place, you keep your body grounded, and that's going to be another layer of protection against the electromagnetic fields and things. And then don't have your phone on. Try to eliminate any wireless devices where you work, if you can. Wear protection in your pockets and things if you have it, and it'll make a huge difference. In your car, turn off, disable the Bluetooth. There's still all the sensors, the LiDAR, and all these sensors that are wirelessly talking to the car's computer. So it's kind of hard to get away from that. But if you have an older car and you don't have all that stuff, that's what we do. So this stuff is everywhere, and it's affecting the quality of life and our ability to recover and heal and rejuvenate. So it's really important that you understand this. Now we're going to go over through. Okay, without that light on, hold strong. She's strong. Let's do this one. So this one is strong. Halogen makes you weak also. Okay, so hold your arm strong, please. Nice and strong. Now let's turn on this one. Hold strong. This is a compact fluorescent bulb. Remember, these are the ones they said to get? And they told us to get rid of the incandescent bulbs. So these are actually make you weaker than the LED. And they're full of mercury. If you break them, you've got a hazmat situation. Right? So these are not recommended. So there are bulbs you can get called Hooga light, Hooga, and they are LED, but the color temperature is not harmful. And these are safe to read by at night before bed. Done this for years. We've still got a great restful sleep. But the awareness of these influences on the body are becoming more widespread, and more people are starting to create products. There's all these untapped markets now, like smart lighting. You could have indoor lighting that changes color temperature like the sun, and it doesn't affect you at night like the ones most people are using. So there's promise, but as it is now, we have to take steps, make an effort to protect yourself and mitigate these harmful effects on the body. So it's not just the microwaves, but the color temperature of the light also. It's in our environments, it's affecting us. So I hope this makes sense, and if you have any questions, go to our website, tuberoshealing.online, and look at the Health and Light page and the electromagnetic fields page and learn more about it. Thank you for watching.